Hello my dear friends and welcome back to another Star Wars video. So today we're talking about the Mandalorian and Grogu, and our main topic, which we'll get to in just a moment, is more proof that Lucasfilm is pivoting away from Season 3. But first, Jeremy Allen White has confirmed he is voicing Rotta the Hutt. This is the first official confirmation from the Bear actor, and he goes on to say that both he and Pedro Pascal still have lines to record. And Jeremy gives us a little quaint play on words. He says, "In the moment, I discovered the weight of the character I was voicing. Rotta is no longer a Huttlet, he's a full-grown warrior." So now on to our main Mando topic, and how it seems like Lucasfilm is trying to make you forget that Season 3 ever happened. Now when I say this, I'm not saying they're decanonizing it, I'm not saying it doesn't count or it's no longer part of the story, it is. But what I'm trying to prove to you is that Lucasfilm is trying to course correct, and there are some characters who you might never see again. And I should add another caveat that we haven't seen the movie. All of what we're talking about today is based off assumptions, reliable scoops and rumours, but we just don't know. So I could be off base and I could be wrong. I don't have a crystal ball, I don't know the future, and I've not seen the film. But we do know quite a lot about it. It's been months now that I've noticed subtle things in the marketing for the movie, in the rumours and the leaks, in the trailer, and now another update is solidifying this. They're putting a lot of what was established in Season 3 on ice. I don't know if they're going to come back to it, but for the time being, they're certainly trying to move away from certain plot threads. And if you are a fan of the third season, what I will say is this: the uniting of the tribes, finding the mythosaur, Grogu becoming a Mando apprentice, all of that stuff, very important. But Lucasfilm no doubt heard the feedback from Season 3, and now they feel it's more important that the big screen offering is a reboot of sorts, focusing on less divisive creative choices and giving fans what they love. The simple duo of Mando and Grogu going on adventures, and they've even brought back the Razor Crest, a new Razor Crest mind you, but the iconic ship nonetheless. And I can already see the kinds of responses this might generate. Some people will say this is a great thing, while on the other hand, there will be those a bit confused. I'm just going to break down the facts and everything we know about this. So the Mandalorian and Grogu movie is now 7 months away, and I would argue this is one of Lucasfilm's most important experiments to date, bringing Star Wars' flagship Disney Plus series to the big screen. And a major consideration when they crafted this film in the first place, likely from the ashes of what was going to be the fourth season, was how to make it appeal to the wider audience, who might not be up to date with 3 seasons of the TV show. That's why the movie's been described as a reset, and it's also why, according to so many rumours, there aren't going to be many wider Mandoverse connections. There are a couple of nods to Book of Boba Fett, but nothing in the way of Thrawn, Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew, and so on and so forth. Lucasfilm will no doubt be trying to find a middle ground between those who are diehards and those who are new to Mando. It's one of those movies where there is enough exposition that if you're new to the characters, the movie helps you understand their importance, and if you're a diehard fan, there might be a few extra Easter eggs, a few extra references that we get, but at the end of the day, The Mandalorian and Grogu is the epitome of the sentiment that you don't have to have seen anything else going in. It is a bonus, but Disney and Lucasfilm don't want casual fans to have the burden of having to watch 24 episodes of a TV show, just as preparation for a fun family Star Wars movie. But in taking this approach, I've noticed that with every official update that we get, Lucasfilm is silently erasing parts of Season 3. Almost like they're saying, we heard your complaints, we heard what you didn't like, so here are some jangling keys. Mando and Grogu in their basic form as father and son. That's why fans say, this is like The Mandalorian Season 1 all over again. You could argue, they are saving some of those story threads for a possible Season 4, but with the uncertainty of the TV show's future at this point, I wouldn't hold my breath. So first I noticed the scrapping of Bo-Katan, which Katie Sackhoff herself has confirmed. There is no Bo-Katan and no Mandalore in this movie, which is a huge part of Season 3 and the future of the Mandoverse. But all the leaks say there is none of that in the movie. Another absence is Carson Tavra of Adelphi Squadron. Unless he's being saved as a big surprise, he's been replaced by Colonel Ward, the character being played by Sigourney Weaver. Now the movie definitely incorporates some aspects of the third season, Adelphi Base, Zebralios, one of the Shadow Council remnants, but you could definitely have jumped from season 2 straight into this movie and be none the wiser. All of the major criticisms seem to have been addressed and they've scrapped them. And as we learned today, we have a major character update from MovieWeb.com who confirmed that Elia Kane, the remnant spy who betrayed Dr. Pershing and infiltrated the New Republic amnesty program, is not going to return. Katie O'Brien firmly says she is not in the movie. And you know, fans talk about the Jack Black and Lizzo episode, but I would say Chapter 19 The Convert is one of the most hated episodes of the entire show. People call it a cheap imitation of Andor, one which distracted from the main plot and could have been lifted from an entirely different show and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Now personally, I went much lighter on that episode than a lot of fans, and to this day, I don't think it's nearly as bad as Chapter 22. But when it comes to the story of Elia Kane, she is still out there somewhere and got off scotch-free. She framed Pershing, flayed his mind, and ate one of his travel biscuits. And even though her master, Moff Gideon, is dead, she could still be serving the Shadow Council. Maybe she's assigned a new mission, maybe she gets a promotion under Pelion or Grand Admiral Thrawn, but from the looks of things, just like so many other Lucasfilm subplots, we might never find out. She's been excluded from the movie, and I wouldn't be surprised if they never give us a follow-up. Maybe Dave Filoni has something in store for her, but it's one of those characters that I don't think many fans will miss, just judging by the social media reactions to this. Probably for the best. That was a weird side story that felt out of place in season 3. I don't think we need her in the movie. Maybe she'll get some books or comics or something else. Katie deserves better. Absolutely agree with this. She was kind of interesting. I'd at least like to see her storyline wrapped up. And this gets to the heart of what I find most frustrating about Lucasfilm when it comes to certain characters, be it Cobb Vanth, be it characters like Elia Kane. They set up their stories, they survive, and then they neglect them. Same with Reva in Obi-Wan Kenobi. I understand not everyone cares to see their stories wrapped up, but in the case of Elia Kane, she is someone who's infiltrating the New Republic from within. Aside from Pershing, surely that's going to cause a few issues. This person says, her episode in season 3 wasn't very good, so I'm glad to hear it. And I suppose this is proving Lucasfilm's point. A lot of fans just want to move on from season 3. They are still using some threads from that season, certain planets, you know, Din and Grogu working for the New Republic, but watch them do exactly what they did with Book of Boba Fett, move away from some of the core elements of the season. And I just want to say, I think Katie O'Brien is brilliant. It's been amazing to see her career flourish. In Mando, fans were obsessed with her. In season 2, she was Moff Gideon's comms officer, and there were so many theories about who she might be. Then come to season 3, and an overwhelming number of fans think she was done dirty. And in case you're wondering, well, what if Katie's playing it coy? She said, I don't know if they're making a season 4, but I know there's a movie, and I know I'm not in it. So, a bit of a shame, a character I think deserves to return, but this movie, like I say, is being treated as a standalone.